Ooh, this looks like fun. Well, hell, I thought I'd come on here and if you would like to join, I'm gonna post that up in here. We can kind of talk about this topic today. But man, it's been a minute. Looks like fun. I have not been able to get on for a minute. Of course, we're still getting Sherry where she needs to be. So let me get the link here. If you'd like to join, I'm going to be on for about 30 minutes, I'd say about. So let's see here. I know there's an invite button somewhere. There it is. All right. Welcome, YouTube. No, it's been a minute. I know a lot of you are like, where you been? What you been doing? I have been just, wow. There. Hello, YouTube. All right. So, we're going to talk about very interesting. I actually love this topic and I was asked to kind of talk a little bit about, does my twin flame feel it when I heal? Absolutely. Let's talk about what healing is, because I want to make sure that I'm clear on what healing is from the standpoint of the thousands of hours we've done at this point. There is a lot to be said about what Root Camp is, what the Connect Me to Me sessions are like, what we've been able to really, truly discover. It's about connection. Literally, this whole connection is about connection. And I think we're all a little bit offset because we believe that connection has to do with this particular person and only this person. Well, that's not necessarily the truth. Now, is it? Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, hi, Angela. You got the moderation. Thank you. Hi, Allison. Wow, it's been a minute since I've seen you. Let's see. Timor's Tube. Hey. Shima. Hello. Let's see. Caroline. Hello. Michelle. Oh, I missed you, Michelle. Sherry misses you too. We are actually, you know what? Let me rewind. I was talking about Sherry. She is up and down. We're talking about how over the last, God, it's been 8 months now. Can you guys believe that? Woohoo, go Sherry. She has a bile duct that they put some stents in, because the bile duct for the size of the liver that she got was the same size as the one she had. So they had to do some stents on the inside of that to stretch it out to make it go down in. Well, they took the stents out and it collapsed again. So what that has done is, of course, bile is now leaking through her again, and she's going through little bouts of the illness that was there before. So we're going to be doing another ERCP, which is where they go down the throat and they go back down, and they'll probably put a stent or two in there, and they'll probably leave it in a little bit longer. The thing about that is it could be every 2 months that they go in there and check. She really does not like those, but she's happy to be here. She's happy to be alive. She's happy to be in this connection still. So we're really excited about that. Now, to go back to what I was talking about. Now, imagine I have a very, very brilliant twin flame, if you don't already know that. If you've never really listened to Sherry, if you've really never taken the time to watch an entire video or those kinds of things, Sherry had this know-how that I quite didn't get off the bat. So when she came up with the questions that we asked for, like Root Camp, I was like, this is interesting. Why are we going in this direction? Because you wouldn't think in twin flame, you don't think it has anything to do with your mom and dad. You don't think it has anything to do with your siblings. You don't think it has anything to do with your grandmother, your great grandmother. You don't see none of that. But literally the connection is repeating all of their behaviors and you don't notice it. And the healing that will be found in your hurts, your any form of abuse, if anybody in the family had been diagnosed as a narcissist, diagnosed with, personality, stress disorder, any of these disorders that are out there that people say, oh, they're a narcissist, and they don't have a doctor's note and they don't know what the actual if there's not been a diagnosis, we're labeling people. Now, okay, I get it. You want to have a good reason to do that, but it's really not always a good reason to do that. And let me tell you why. Because once you start looking up all of the things that they've put on these types of diagnosis, you start to kind of listen to what other people are saying. And that's probably part of where your healing really needs to happen. Yes, the person you're connected to in feeling is going to feel when something has significantly changed with you. Does it have anything to do with where you're from? Absolutely. An example would be, I'm going to give you some clear examples, and these are all based on what actually happens through Root Camp and through Connect B2Me. Had somebody in particular come to us, and once we actually got into some of the ways that they were raised, and in this particular case, I'm going to say that this person ended up being with their father and their mother left early. Some things happened when we started going into it. And it's interesting because it's not like you get to that space immediately, because after a while, when you get hurt when you're younger, after a while, you learn how to live with that hurt, and you learn how to live with it being closed off. And it doesn't allow people to connect to you. As a matter of fact, you pretty much base all your relationships off of that kind of hurt. You don't base it off the kind of love, but you do base it off the actual hurt. But needless to say, we showed them that what the feeling that was there was that that feeling could be connected to. And immediately within 24 hours, things changed. And they said, oh, you're not going to believe who called. And we were like, well, yeah, that's kind of what happens, because you believe that you're not connected to when there's no truth to that at all. You just haven't experienced connection your entire life. You've experienced relationships. Thus, your relationships start to look funny compared to your connection. Also, when you're healing this particular thing, you change your belief system. The belief system that you probably carried your entire life was, no one I'm connected to would ever love the real me. That's a good example. And no, it's not something you automatically can probably feel as I'm talking, but I promise you, there's something tied into this feeling. And most of the time it's your story. And it's based on, do you believe you are who you are in your story? Once you change that belief system, something significant happens to this connection. The belief system could be, oh, hi, Clinton. Your belief system could be that the one I'm connected to won't love the real me. And once you actually confront that particular parent or that particular sibling, you'll notice that the way that you interact with them changes. Even if you don't say anything to them, the healing is always present, just like the hurt was always present. Makes sense, doesn't it, Clinton? It's like you go into it and go, you mean my healing impacts them? So I can stop saying, why do I have to? Well, yeah, stop saying that immediately, because this connection is not impacted by which one does the healing. It's impacted by the beliefs that are keeping you from healing. Is that a good way to put it? That's a good way to put it.
Yes, it is.
Anything to add so far?
No.
So when we started doing this, it's interesting because, you can record your session. And recording your session actually allows you to start cutting the layers that you didn't even know you needed to cut. And it makes you start looking at things completely different. Most people believe that, oh, well, Lee, you say things that I don't understand. It's not that I'm saying things you don't understand. I'm saying things that you feel, but your mind doesn't let you understand.
Mm.
And, see how you
Yeah.
do it. So what ends up happening is that feeling starts to evolve, starts to change. Even if it's a feeling of hurt, your hurt needs your connection. The you inside of your pain needs your connection to have this connection. If you don't have that, what are you asking? Would you ever let somebody be connected to you if you're disconnected from your pain? How about it, Clinton? Will you answer
No.
that?
No, we don't.
Why not?
But I don't want them to.
I don't want them to is also, oh, they won't love me if I do that.
Yeah.
And you're dictating how that person has to be connected to you. You don't even see that wound, or will you ever? And truthfully, if you don't have that pain in your connection, the connection is headed for separation no matter what you do. No matter what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look on here and see what the responses are on this. Gosh, I said it so bad. I'm getting older. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Michelle. We miss you too. Great information. Thank you. I need this today. Your hurt needs your connection. I think the big myth is that you if you're hurt from things that have happened to you in your past, you literally let them love a you that you never loved before. Because think about it. When you were hurt in your relationships, when you were hurt in your childhood, who did you tell loved you? Whose love were you able to receive? And when you're hurt, do you wear a mask for people already in everyday life? Imagine if you woke up in the morning and you had a full night of dark night of the soul, then you went to work, and then when people said, hey, how are you doing? You're like, I'm fine. Oh, so you know how to wear a mask and you don't realize it. And this is where most people don't believe that they're a liar, but this is the space where you don't let anybody connect to the real you. Once you learn how to keep doing that, you seem to keep doing that. And then here comes this magical, beautiful spiritual connect. And then when you're wearing a mask, they know it. They're not, you're hiding shit. I don't know how to trust you. You seem kind of, I don't know, something seems off about how we're communicating.
Yeah.
We don't realize we do that. We do that to people we love more times than not. Hi, River. Hi, Ann. Oh, how's Australia? This is probably one of the hardest things in the world to face. The you that's in there and the you who's putting a mask on you. How are you going to let somebody connect to you if you know how to wear a mask? Because we see that a lot. But I couldn't tell them what I was thinking because they probably wouldn't. And as soon as you say that, you're already in a relationship with them inside your head. You're not connected anymore if you're doing that, are you?
No way.
Is that even possible? Do you believe that is something that's actually possible if you're in your head, right? And you hear something that says, oh, hi, Amy. And
Hey,
you
Amy.
hear something that says, well, I don't know if I could share this with them. Or I think all they want is sex from me. And you never say to them, and you see them and you don't tell them what you're thinking. How's that connection? How can you be connected to if what your head is telling you makes you hold your feelings back, hold your feelings in the space, tell you need to be safe, right? And you're not giving them the combination to that safe. You'll never do it. And it's the most painful. Oh, you aren't going to believe this. Look at this. This is the text messages we're sending back and forth. And the text messages don't reflect what they're telling me. And I'm like, you know they can feel you when these thoughts hurt you. Is that not something that you wanted to free yourself with? You've always wanted to free yourself from what your thoughts have done to your feelings. This connection is going to do this to you in the worst way. And it's beautiful. I'm sorry, it just is. Because nothing's going to wake you up like that when it comes to really knowing that you need connection. We went to a funeral today, and these two were very deeply connected. And I could see in his energy that he's slipping away because she passed. And I went up to him and I put my hand over his and I said, I know this energy. I was in it. And I said, is this the energy that she represented for you? And I believe he couldn't say anything, of course, because, I always ask those questions that just cut you somewhere. And I could see in him saying, no, but we were together every day, every minute. And now I'm talking to her and she's not there. I could feel that from his energy. And the thing about that is when you start feeling that energy, you don't realize that when you're in your head creating that space of them not being in your life, you're creating space for that separation. You know what I'm saying? When you're like, oh, but what if I can't trust that they're not going to be loyal, that they're not going to leave their marriage, that they're not going to. Anytime you're doing that and you're not telling them, are you being connected to or disconnected from? Oh, Amy, you love that question.
Yeah.
Come on, this is fun. When it comes to what you actually can heal, there are feelings on the inside of you. If I asked you all right now, as you're watching this broadcast, if you're watching it after the replay, if you're watching it right now, if I ask you a question, you're going to hear an answer on the inside of you. Who do you tell this answer to? Has anybody been allowed to love the real you? And you can hear on the inside whether you've allowed that or not. And we're all wondering why control keeps infecting us. That type of control keeps you hurt. You're not healing anything. Oh, I'm self-loving. Oh, really? Who all gets to love you if you're self-loving? Me. And who else? I have a few select people. And then you find this connection and the connection goes, well, I'm selectively allowed to love you. And now you're mad at them for selectively loving you because that's what you chose. When are you going to heal that? I'm sorry, Abe. You felt that one somewhere deep inside. And it's almost like we don't want to know the truth. Has your thinking ever led you to healing? Ever? Has your thinking ever kept hurt around longer than it should? Yeah? You ever do that? Where you even share with people what's hurt you and what's still hurting you? Because it's funny because when somebody's like, oh, you're not going to believe what happened between me and them 20 years ago. And I'm going, oh. And I'm watching them and I'm going, you do realize you're still hurting from this? And they're, oh, no, I've healed it. Oh, really? And I poke at it because you know me, I've got to test the theory. And they're like, ow, hey, that's the same. And I'm like, I get it. But your connection that you're looking for is the you that got hurt. You're not connected to that part of you anymore, and you've given power away to someone else. It's deep. Some of my favorite messages and the way that it's come out in healing is we do the 30 minutes, which we're not doing 30 minutes gifts now. We're only doing it for people who are interested in Root Camp or interested in Connect Me to Me. We're going to kind of go there and then we're going to grow because we have to grow connection. we've realized that everything that we've been thrown at us at this point, and we've learned how to stay connected through, is vital. But it's vital to be more global, more. So there's the new group root camps are going to be very, very powerful for people who are looking for connection, looking for that healing, looking for that. What space won't I step into? We're still getting the well, my DF is still waiting for my DM. Well, let's talk about your wounded masculine first. Because I promise you, you're going to attract a feminine that's going to put you above in the divine feminine, but you're going to still have the wounded feminine attraction because you don't know, you're not healing it. The masculine design you came from is connection. That's a connection point. That's why, well, they're not going to heal if I heal. Well, maybe you get to say that and you get to be right. And how does that feel? Does that feel like you're going to heal anything? Because the moment you tell yourself what they can't do, who are you really talking about? Sometimes the truth is all you have. And I believe that the truth is a beautiful healer when you let it be. But see, we're so busy judging the truth, it's not the truth anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I feel everything you're feeling because that's connection. If I can't feel you in connection, I'm going to repeat what you're doing, but I'm also going to stay connected to how it feels in you. And I want you to see what you're doing to that feeling, the you inside of that feeling. And I'm sure it feels fantastic. It always feels fantastic when somebody validates your hurt. Mm-hmm. It does feel good, doesn't it, Amy? It's like, oh, yeah, you're right. I have every right to be hurt.
Yeah.
Now you get the defense system. Don't you love the defense system that comes with this? You hurt me. And I've been hurt like this before. Can somebody please explain to me? You hurt me the way I've been hurt before. Tell me something. Have you held on to that hurt to recycle it at some point and blame somebody else for a hurt that you didn't heal in the first place? Because would you have attracted the same kind of hurt if you healed it? That's the $1 million question. That's the question you should be asking yourself when it comes to a twin flame connection, any connection, whether it's mom and dad. Because once you tell yourself my parents won't change, you say connection won't change. You don't even see you're saying that to yourself, but tell me how that's not the truth. Oh, I can't let them into my life. They're just toxic. Oh, so you were born from toxicity and attract toxicity, and now you blame them. What if you were born into toxicity as the cure and you're the one avoiding it? How toxic is that? Hey there.
How What's up, you? Man? What's up? Can you hear me?
Doing the thing, just talking.
I hear you talking about healing and everything, man. I'm going through some of the same things, but it's just the mind, man. The mind gets in the way. Even when you have all these different truths in your being and all these different experiences, and it's just like you said before, like you kind of answered one of my questions that I had. Attracting the same kind of hurt because you didn't heal the past hurt, and I thought I healed the past hurt, and here I am attracting this other person that's reflecting back to me the past hurt, and it's, I don't know, sometimes it's
just to clarify, I used my memory machine to heal something that my memory machine doesn't know how to heal. And then I came forward and I realized that my memory machine did the same damn thing it did the last time.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to accept that my memory machine does that is probably where the hurt is the worst. Because when we tell ourselves the hurt that you experienced in the past, what did you like about the you that got hurt?
Nothing at all. I didn't like anything about it.
So that hurt still has permission to dictate your choices. Doesn't it?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So what you kept looking for because your mind goes, oh, I bet you, oh, they're probably going to do this. Or it probably found ways to make you step into a space where you were reacting from the hurt already, which triggered them to hurt you. And we don't see it backwards that way because we don't believe in connection enough. The you that got hurt, you don't like him, but you won't connect to him so you can start liking him. I mean, if you changed how you feel about that person, the you that went through this, what part of that isn't connection? Do you feel your head? So your body agrees, your mind's going, oh, don't listen to this. We need to hold on to this story because you don't like the person in the story. We got to talk about that person and tell everybody how we don't like him too. And now you're mad because you told everybody about a guy you didn't like. But now when they all won't like him, you're not going, well, you guys all don't like what happened to me, and neither do I, but you guys are causing this. Makes no sense. The you that got hurt, who's been allowed to sit with him?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's just, I don't know, when you meet this person and you pour like your heart and your soul into them, and I don't know, it's that feeling of being healed. And, I don't know. I don't know, I'm quite new to this, and it's just, I'm trying my best. Like, I'm trying my best to stay in vulnerability, stay, I like it, but it's sometimes it's hard, man, because it's a,
I believe what you need to ask yourself is, the you that says you're trying your best, is that you that's trying your best being judged by the hurt in you? Because what you really just did just then is I pointed at the feeling and said, did somebody get to sit with him? And then you talked about pouring your heart out to a person, but you never sat with him, and you think that's going to heal it. What is healing to you? If you had to define what healing is, what is it?
Healing to me is having something uncomfortable or traumatic happen to you, and you can, because you're never going to forget it, but it could come up into your mind, but you don't react to it. You don't have the human ego reactions to it. I mean, that's just, my definition of healing. But
It's definitely a change in reaction. It definitely is that.
Yeah.
But it's a change in reaction to the way the body experiences it, not the mind. The mind will still have the story, but the way you feel about it is different. That would be healing. So if you tell the story to this person you poured your heart out to, you'd be like, it took me a while to figure out how to love the me inside of that hurt. That would sound like healing. Not, you're not going to believe what they did, but think about, I was hurt, and now I don't trust you because of that hurt. There is you not trusting the you inside of the hurt, because the you inside of the hurt missed out on love. And that's what keeps us not healing. Now, imagine you meet this connection, and then all of a sudden, you're not judging that hurt anymore. You're not judging. You're not judging the you that got hurt, and you're free and you're open. And you know what's beautiful about uncomfortable is that's healing, because your vulnerability is being connected to. So if you're not comfortable being uncomfortable, that's just you being disconnected from the you inside of your vulnerability. What's safe about that?
Yeah, and that's why I came on the call, because I knew that it's uncomfortable me doing this as a man, because I've never, expressed myself like this. You know what I mean? I never had, express my emotions, express how I feel about another person, different things like that. And that's why I came on here, because I felt like it will help me to be uncomfortable, and just be vulnerable. And I've been watching you and Sherry's videos for years, and I've had a lot of different experiences and different connections, without trying to label them, without trying to put my own egos onto them. But when I met this person I had this intense connection with, I realized that just by what you're saying just now, just coming on this call, I realized I have not healed from the past connections.
Mm.
And I'm trying to bring baggage into this one. I never even noticed I was trying to bring baggage. I was bringing the baggage into this connection. And it's why, like, it was, I don't know, man, like she received like the best from me. You know what I mean? I gave her like my all. And it's just, I don't know. It's,
Oh, may I ask a question about that?
yeah.
She received the best from you and you wore a mask on the baggage? You wore a mask on the baggage that you brought from your past.
I get what you're
Is that
saying.
what I'm understanding?
I get what you're saying.
So when you brought all of that past inside of your best, you didn't do that, did you?
Man, yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, well, you have to realize that that's a part of connection, because if I said to you, I said, hey, how did you receive love from your mom again? She loved you when you were at your best. How did she love you when you're at your worst? What would you tell me?
It's pretty not the same. Not this. It wasn't the same. Yeah.
So your mom got to know when you were hurting. She got to know when you felt at your worst.
Yeah, but not all the time, you know. But she.
Did you notice that you said yes, but? Isn't that a no?
Yeah, that's a no.
So if I said to you, you know, the you that just tried to make it sound like yes, what do you accept about him? And when do you feel everything that he feels when he tried to say yes and then he put a but behind it? I mean, do you realize that you're teaching people how to reject you because you do that?
Do you think we do this because other people have rejected us and we just feel like, you know, and we just get tired of just relationships and I know connections are better than relationships, but when you try these,
I feel we do this because of too much thought.
Oh.
Because when did thought ever get you connected to? Ever. So if you're not open with your thinking that makes you want to disconnect, who are you expecting them to be connected to? And most thought is confrontational. Most thought is attacking to make sense of a hurt you won't heal. It's fun. Oh, I reached out to them and they said nothing. They didn't respond at all. Oh, okay. So did you ever tell yourself that your father was emotionally available to you? Well, no. So you're expecting them to show up in an emotion that you believe that a man you're connected to won't show up in. Makes no more sense. And what did you do with all those feelings that you shelved every time you needed your father to show up for your emotions? See those feelings? We feel things and we don't let people connect to us. We just had a pandemic. Everybody was paying attention to how people felt. And connection was gaining strength during an illness. That's interesting, isn't it?
mm-hmm.
We started paying attention to how each other feels in an illness. We don't pay attention to each other's feelings otherwise. This is where we shift. Does my twin flame get anything from my healing? Absolutely, because you change your belief system. Just like you listened to that part where I said, did your mom show up for that side of you that you said was in your best? There was a clue in there that said, no, I wore a mask for her for that, or I just kept myself away from her. And then when your twin turns around and does that to you, you're like, that's the stuff my mom would do. And you don't say, that's the stuff I would do. But you literally do teach your twin flame all of your wounds, no matter how open you are. The more open you are, the more wounded those wounds will come out. And you don't get a choice, because the choice is heal or don't heal. The number one cause of separation is you don't heal. You know how to accumulate hurt. You know how to stuff your feelings. You know how to walk on eggshells. You know how to do everything but take off your mask and say, will you just hold me while I feel this? Because that would be healing. Why would you do that if you didn't do it as a child? Why you didn't do it as a teenager? You didn't do it into your later teens. You didn't do it. You don't do it now. Matter of fact, most of you are so easygoing. Oh, I can't tell my friends or my family about this connection. Right. Because why would you tell people you're connected to about a connection? That makes no sense either. It makes no sense. Oh, and then you're wondering why they're like, that doesn't feel like you're proud of me. I don't think I'm good enough for you. You're right. Because I won't tell people I'm connected to and tell people that I'm friends with about this connection because they see me as disconnected. I wouldn't want to tell them about this connection because they'll tell me I'll fuck it up and they'll be right. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to swallow the truth, but the truth is if you want connection, heal. If you don't want connection, stay hurt. Because you're going to go out here, you're going to jump on YouTube and you're going to jump on Google and you're going to type in what the hell is this connection? And it's going to point you at separation. Don't worry, we'll wait because we'll be here. But know this, you come to us, we're going to connect you to the you inside of your pain so you can fall in love because that's what they helped you do. And then you helped you out of it. Because when have you ever loved the you inside of your pain? Remember, pain is connection and creative energy. It is not what you tell yourself it is. Hurt is the way that you've blocked yourself from your pain. And you have spilled that through your entire life and made your choices from it. And now this connection finds you and you're like, what do I do with all that? Well, how have you been telling yourself you can fall in love with that? Would probably be the better question. I'm so happy. Missed you guys. And we've got on the 19th, Amy, we are doing how to heal your switch. It's a seminar. It's about 3 to 4 hours long. If you're interested in joining, email relationshipreinvent@gmail.com. Or Amy, do you want to give your email as well? They can email you.
Yeah, they can email me, amylynfournier@gmail.com.
Awesome. And that will be somewhere on here. I'm sure you can just log in there and post it in the chat if you want. Clinton, beautiful to see you. My friend Clinton will be there as well. And if you would like to join Alchemist, we would love to see you there.
Okay, sure. I would join. Sure.
One question for you though.
Uh-huh.
Why are you running?
And it's not so much running away from her. It's so much running towards her while in separation. She, I don't know, it's just she's so back and forth and about the connection and it's not even about a relationship with me, it's just about a connection. She's so back and forth about it. And the thing you were saying about scared that she's one of those people where she's scared to tell her parents and other people about the connection and everything, but she wants to be around me and then she doesn't want to be around me, then all of a sudden she wants to. It's just back and forth, this push and pull, this, I don't know, it's just I'm in a void where it's like I'm not running and I'm not chasing. It's just I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, that makes sense with what I'm feeling. So I have a question about that. Did you grow up with both parents in the home?
No.
Okay. Which parent was gone?
My mom was there for a little bit. My dad, he didn't even know at all, but I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay. So the two people you're connected to never showed up together at the same time?
No.
And what control did you have over that?
None at all.
So you're basically in the same void that you were in when it came to connection there? It feels comfortable, right?
Yeah, it kind of does, yeah.
So the two people that you're connected to, did they ever come and sit with you and ask you how that felt?
No.
Then that's what you're avoiding with when it comes to your twin. Because those feelings, you believe that people you're connected to would show up for that feeling or won't?
They will.
You believe that the two people you're connected from, mom and dad, will show up for you in that feeling or they won't?
I get what you're saying. They won't.
Okay.
Yeah, because
what would you separation? That's where it is.
Yeah.
The way that you feel about it, There's a you on the inside of that feeling, and how are you connected to him?
I get what you're saying. From the experiences I've had with being a child, not knowing I was in that space. So it's now, man, that's damn, you're amazing, dude.
Well, how are you connected to that child again?
Hmm. Is it that I'm connecting through that with that child through these connections?
Matter of fact, I'm going to show you exactly what I do in a session, right? I'm connected to that child, and I point at you and I said, the child wants to know why you don't want a connection with him. He's looking at you like you look at your father. What do you say to him?
Hmm.
Ouch. That's some dead silence you got there. Sounds
Yeah.
like what your twin has to give you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. And you're still not saying anything to that boy. And that boy's looking at you going, and he's looking at me and he's saying, he never knows that I'm here. He's acting just like my dad did when he didn't show up at my grandma's house to talk to me, upset with how I felt. He's learned how to disconnect from me, and he doesn't care about me. So I make sure that I sabotage all his connections because he doesn't realize I forgive him. You felt that.
Yeah.
And there's a you on the inside, even deeper than that. See, the issue is, once you heal that, guess who will show up? You're allowed to heal. Not because of the connection outside of you, but because of the one inside of you. You've created belief systems and ways to block that most people call boundaries to keep their hurt alive. How are you going to grow healing from that? We love you guys. And look forward to Sherry and I are going to do a deeper video on this, along with a few others. And it's wonderful to be in your presence and connection. We love you all, and we'll see you soon.